G'day, welcome to the first round of my new series, Subscribe Throwdown, where I will be going one-on-one, mano-a-mano, with the members of the coalition of Bloody Legends in an anything goes deathmatch on a map of their choosing. And my first opponent is the legendary, the man himself, DoctorDelicious, who is an Australian gamer and also a commentator, which is pretty exciting because I just don't think us Australians are represented well enough. There's me and a few other people out there commentating, and I'm a noob, and I don't think the general population of Australia would be happy with wearing that label, so I'm glad this guy is around because he is light years ahead of me. He is way better. His kill-death ratio, I had a gander at that. Let me tell you, he leaves me and everyone else on my friends list in the dust. This guy's really good. He's always at the top of the scoreboards. And despite that, in this little one-on-one match, I actually put up a pretty good showing. And I'll tell you straight up, I don't win. Even though I did a little teabag there, I try and get my kicks when I can. But I won't be winning, although it will get pretty close, and I'll definitely have my moments. But the way this game was set up, he sent me a message on my YouTube account saying he was bored and asking me to come online, so I did, and we ended up playing for about an hour, maybe 2 hours, and we did 2 one-on-ones, this one and another one on Rust, which was another really funny little game. And we played a bunch of objective games like Search and Destroy, Domination. We played a round of Team Deathmatch. I completely embarrassed myself in every game we played except for Team Deathmatch because that's pretty much my bread and butter. And on Domination, I definitely had a real noob moment because you know how the idea of domination is to hold down 2 flags and just pretty much spawn trap and completely rape your other team. Well, I'm aware of that strategy, but it came a point in the game where I was staring down their single uncapped flag, and the funny thing was the enemy team was nowhere around. They were nowhere to be seen. So I knew I shouldn't have done it, but I went to cap that flag because... Okay, let's see how I could explain this in a way that people might understand. Okay, if you know how when you go to the post office, and there's always a really long line and it moves so slowly, and you're trying to pass the time, you're twiddling your thumbs, you're sort of looking around at all the cheesy advertising on the wall, you count backwards from 100, you hum the Simpsons theme, and then for some reason there's always a bald guy right in front of you, not a completely bald skinhead. He's usually got sort of like a horseshoe of hair wrapped around the sides, but on top, nada, completely bald. Anyway, as you're standing there trying to occupy yourself, after you stop looking at the advertisements and all the crap in the post office, you keep looking back to the top of his head, and you come down with this insatiable hankering in his head like a bongo drum. And I know that's awfully mean and cruel to say that or find that amusing, but that's how I always feel when you see someone in front of you with a bald head and you've been standing there for so long, you're bored, you've got nothing else to do, and except the thing is, in real life, I've never played a bald person's head as a bongo drum, and I don't think I ever would, because that would hurt their feelings, and I don't want to do that, so... But that was the thing in Domination, because... Or video games in general, because... What's really stopping you from doing whatever you feel like? That's the point of video games. It's sort of like a stress relief. That's why there are games like Grand Theft Auto. You can steal cars and blow up helicopters and... shoot any cop who makes a snide remark at you, so that's what we have video games for. And unfortunately, I had a bongo drum like hankering to cap that flag, and that's what I did, and that was embarrassing because it put us in a pretty hairy predicament for a while. And we eventually pulled it, or that my team did. I put in a very piss poor showing, but they pulled it together. We still ended up winning, but I had a really good time playing with DoctorDelicious, and I hope he enjoyed playing with me, because he was surprised when I told him this too, but that was my first ever private match, because I'm a very solitary player. I usually just don't stray far from my mercenary team deathmatch, because I feel guilty about sort of pushing my noobiness onto a team. So, because back in World at War, I used to play free-for-all exclusively, and you could do that, have fun, it was a competitive little game mode, but in Modern Warfare 2, you can't really count on free-for-all because of the boosters. So reluctantly I got into mercenary team deathmatch, and that's where I spend most of my time now. But anyway, I should probably apologise to DoctorDelicious, because throughout pretty much the 2 hours or however long we were playing, I was making my usual bad jokes and silly comments and lame puns and all that kind of stuff. I must have went through every lame doctor pun in the book. Because of his name, I was always saying, "Oh, do we have a doctor in the house?" And he sort of played along, gave us a sort of a courtesy giggle, but yeah, sorry you had to endure my possibly unique brand of humour, but hopefully that won't deter you from a future game, or you'll be able to kick my ass again. Maybe one of these days I might actually improve, and you won't be embarrassed to be seen on the same team as me. And this has actually been a really fun, interesting little game we played here, but I've completely babbled about random crap for the whole of it. And an interesting thing to note is, I've got my serial child rapist class out, because I'm pretty desperate to turn things around at this point. And DoctorDelicious has a class, it isn't called serial child rapist, but it sort of performs the same sort of purpose as my class. It's his desperation class, we'll call it, and it's a silence P90. That seems to be his beast weapon of choice. So, and he was using that, and we mixed it up a fair bit throughout this game, because I've got my fair share of sticky bomb kills. L86 has done me really well. And look at that, a stuck. I was really proud of myself, and both of us got a good laugh out of that one. He was a good sport, as incredibly awesome at this game as he is. He didn't get the shits or anything about whether or not I got a good kill on him, or for me mucking up in our objective games, which should probably be more bothersome. He was a good sport through and through, and right there, at this point of the game, I was starting to get this little obsessive idea that I wanted to throwing knife him, and I just couldn't make that happen, as much as I tried. But and you'll see for the ending of this little match, you might think we set this up, but I didn't. And as you'll be able to see, it would have taken really good time to set it up. He's just on such a whole new level of skill than I am, that he managed to shamefully kill me and get a neat little kill cam, which you'll be able to tell the grandkids about, even though no one would ever brag about having beaten me. But I think this is it right here. Look at that. Wait a second until you see what he did. Have a gander at this. That was not a 360, that was a double 360. A double 360 no scope, not set up, and if you can help it, no one wants to die that way, even in a little private game. But I walked right into that, he put me down, and too bad for me. Once again, big thank you goes out to the Coalition of Bloody Legends. This time round we have 4 new members. We have Raph, Silent King, HXC, VG Statistics, which is my buddy Hector from the IGN boards, and DSN6666. Thanks you guys, and I'll see you next time for probably the next edition of the Diary of a Noob Man. See you then. Peace and love.